well. So let's bring back in Oliver Sloup from Blue Line Futures in Chicago. Oliver, does anything you want to get off your chest when it comes to the livestock?
Well, I've got to say, I'm pretty disappointed in the live cattle markets, especially the June contract, which should be tracking the cash market a little bit better. Cash trading in that 145 neighborhood, and the futures just not really able to get any momentum going after failing against the 200-day moving average for the last three sessions. That's at 135.5. I was hoping that with a higher cash market from yesterday, we would be able to chew through that and go fill that gap from a couple weeks ago up in the mid 137s. The fact that we're not getting that is a little bit of a caution flag here in the very near term. But with that said, I think some of this pressure is spilling over from the outside markets. Whenever you see a risk-off trade like we're seeing in the indices, as much as 1,000 points in the Dow, that inevitably bleeds into some commodities as well. And beef is typically one that has a little bit more or bigger correlation in times of peak panic like we're seeing in the outside markets.
Well, they're waking up to higher interest rates. I just checked in on the crude oil is pretty much unchanged today, but still it's pretty high. So we've got some issues with crude oil being fairly high. And then if you kind of scroll down on my little screen here and you take a look at, say, something like nat gas, that too is also high. That's not going to be good for these interest rate hikes. Arguably, Oliver, you could argue that they maybe even might cancel them out a little bit. So I think the world's waking up to the fact that maybe interest rates are going to have to go higher than they thought they were going to be, or we're going to be living with inflation a little higher, a little longer than we thought. And either way, that's not very good for the economy. And I think that that's going to be something that's going to be still with us here for a while. So I appreciate your comments. Great content. Oliver Sloup, Blue Line Futures in Chicago. Thanks for being on the show.